Well, I told myself I was done with this internet crap and this, I'll make videos every now and again about football and college football and hockey and I told myself I was probably more than likely gonna stay out of it this year. I did not see myself uh, trash talking in this YouTube world thing. Mostly just saw myself just making football videos and, like I said, college football videos and hockey videos. But I just seen the most hilarious video today that I think the guy was just talking to talk, really. Super Falcon. Formerly, then he named himself Super Dude, and I think he was originally Falcon's 12th man. What was that? What was that? Was that just something to grab somebody's attention? Or are you that dumbfounded of what's going to happen this season? You were right about one thing. The Saints will be trash. They added Adrian Peterson, yada, yada, yada. Adrian Peterson doesn't have an offensive line. That offensive line is trash. Okay? Who do they have at receiver? Brandon Cooks is gone. Who's Breeze throwing the ball to? Okay? They didn't improve on defense. Their defense is still lackluster. So, you were right about that. The Saints will be trash. The Panthers, nobody knows what the Panthers will be this year. They don't have the same pieces on offense. I think Mike Shula is still there, but I think they lost their defensive coordinator. So you don't know what kind of defense they'll run. They still got a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball, but it could be different now that they've lost their coordinator. Cam Newton, nobody knows what this guy is going to do this year. Nobody knows what Cam Newton could be the most talented quarterback one year, and then he could be a bust the next year. What was that? Yes, my dad was talking to the dog. Yeah. So, Cam Newton, you don't know what kind of quarterback he'll be. You don't know what kind of offense they're going to have, okay? They got Christian McCaffrey. That's a good pickup for them. Their offensive line, I don't know too much about, but it's not my team to know too much about. The receiving core, it's still strong with Greg Olsen and Kelvin Benjamin when he's not dropping the football and when he's not hurt. And Ted Ginn's got a lot of speed too, and he's doing better with his dropping issues, I think, from what I saw last year. But then again, we swept the Panthers, so... This division is coming down between two teams this year. It's coming from the team in Tampa, and it's coming from the team in Atlanta. I'll give you your offense, and I'll give you your quarterback. Your quarterback is not going to have a hangover year. Matt Ryan's not going to digress. I said last year that the Falcons were going to suck last year. Matt Ryan was going to digress. They got no talent on offense. Yada, yada, yada. I was so wrong, and I'll admit to it. I'll admit. I said the Falcons would win 5 or less games last year. 6 if they were lucky. They shut me up real quick. They went to the Super Bowl. I'm not denying Atlanta's a good team, or that they're a good team. Hell, they're a great team. They got a great offense. But if you look at it, defense is what wins you championships. See, the Falcons had a great defense for 3 quarters. And then the gas ran out. Does that have to do with their offense? Yeah, their offensive coordinator, who's now the head coach of San Francisco, didn't make the greatest of play calls. And cost y'all the game. because then your defense ran out there and got tired. And, well, Brady did what Brady does. My team. Yes, my team. I will admit, I laughed my ass off when you said that we would go 8-8 this year. No. I think you're in for a rude awakening, son. What do you have to stop Mike Evans? Okay, because you didn't do that in either of the games we played in. What do you have to stop Deshaun Jackson? Cameron Brate. O.J. Howard. What do you have to compete with an offensive line that is adding bigger guys and is adding more experienced guys like Joe Hawley, Donovan Smith, J.R. Sweezy's there, Ali Marpet's there. And I'm missing one. There's Smith, Sweezy, Marpet, Hawley, and DeMar Dotson. These guys are just, there's only one new face on that offensive line this year. And even then, to back them, the guys that rotate in, they're the guys that worked with them most of the year during Sweezy's injury and other injuries that happened to the line. The offensive line is gaining more experience and more time together. And our defense. Okay, I asked you about your defense, and it just came to mind. You added a couple of good pieces, but you still don't have a secondary outside of Desmond Trufant that I've seen, that I have noticed. Okay. Your defensive line is nasty. I'll give you that. Your linebacking core, I believe, again, I am not the most expert on other teams, so correct me if I'm wrong. Vic Beasley, I believe, is a defensive lineman. He could be a linebacker, too. I could be totally wrong on both parts. I believe he's a linebacker. But I'm not an Atlanta fan. Not supposed to know all the Atlanta players. Okay? You guys got the Poe guy from Kansas City. You already had a decent pass rush later on in the year. Your line and linebackers, I'll combine the two. I know I've screwed it up somewhere down the line. Are pretty good. I'll give you your pass rush. But outside of that, I don't see anything. I just don't. Desmond Trufant, and that's it. But I could be wrong. Again, I don't study Atlanta. I know a little bit to know. But you are so wrong about Tampa Bay. So wrong. And you'll learn, as we get into the season, you'll learn, this is not an 8-8 ball club. This team can easily win double-digit wins this year. Just as easily as you could have a Super Bowl hangover. Because it happens to the best of teams. What happened the year after Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl? Super Bowl hangover. What happened to the Rams the year after that Super Bowl? They didn't play in another one. A couple NFC championship games, sure. But they didn't go to another one. Look at the Bucs. What happened to them the year after they went to the NFC Championship game in the late 70s? Well, I think we all know that encountered after deciding the 1980 and 1981 season, or 1981, was it either 80 or 81. That was their last playoff appearance until 1997. And what happened when they went to the championship game in 99? They didn't go back till 2002. What happened the year after they won the Super Bowl? Super Bowl hangover. What happened to the Broncos the year after they went to the Super Bowl? Super Bowl hangover. What happened to the Panthers both times after they went to the Super Bowl? Super Bowl hangover. What happened to the Saints? Super Bowl hangover. It's a pattern. It happens to the best of teams. Super Bowl hangover seems to be a very likely thing nowadays. And it wouldn't shock me if it happened to Atlanta. Super Bowl hangovers happen to both sides, winning or losing. And it happens to the greatest of teams. I won't lie. Last year's Falcons team should have won the Super Bowl. But they didn't. Ten and 6. That could be the worst for the Falcons. You're right. But something tells me that the team from Tampa is going to do just a bit better. Because we have a determined quarterback. We have a determined group of guys who are putting in the work, strapping on boots, and getting ready to kick asses. So hold on tight, because this is going to be wilder than any 8-second ride, to quote Jake Owen. It's going to come sooner or later there, Super Falcon. So just get ready. The race has not even started yet. This is just the calm before the storm. That's why I don't really like making videos during the off season. No point to it. But your video caught my attention. And I have a lot of respect for you. So, with that said,